Ida Sophia Scudder was born on December 9, 1870 to Dr. John Scudder Jr. and Sophia Scudder in a mission bungalow in South India's provincial town of Ranipet. By the time Ida turned 2, Dr. John Scudder took charge of the Scudder Memorial Hospital, which was set up by Ida's uncle, Dr. Silas D.Scudder, in 1866. Growing up on a mission station, it did not take too long for little Ida to become aware of the famine, poverty and disease which was part of life in this mofussil town. At the age of 6, Ida witnessed the ravages of a famine that left 3 million dead. After a stint at the Northfield Seminary in Massachusetts starting in 1887, Ida planned to marry and settle down. Happy years spent with close friends on a beautiful campus on the banks of the Connecticut River confirmed Ida's conviction that America was where she belonged. Young Ida was determined to not follow in the missionary doctor footsteps of her father and grandfather. However, before she could graduate, Ida made a trip to India in 1890. This was to be of support to her father as her mother lay ailing at the mission bungalow in Tindimanu. One night in 1894 changed the course of Ida's life.
And soon a knock. I went to the door and saw a Brahmin gentleman. I asked him if I could do anything for him. "Oh, yes, Amma," he said. "I so need your help. My wife is dying in childbirth, and Amma, she is such a lovely girl. I heard that you'd come to India, and I thought you could help her." But I replied, "I know nothing about childbirth, but my father is a doctor, and I can bring him. He can save your little wife." Almost in horror, he raised his hands, saying, "I could not take a man into my house. No man can look upon my wife. If you cannot come, she must die." He left, and I sat down at my desk, feeling desperate. After some time, I heard footsteps. I ran to the door, thinking that the Brahmin had returned. Instead, there stood a Mohammedan, and with the same request. He too turned away, repeating the same words, "Oh, she must die." I felt I could not bear it, and again I heard footsteps in the same evening. Similar requests came from a third man. There was no sleep for me that night. I could not forget those 3 young women.
Next day, when a concerned Ida asked a servant to inquire, she saw 3 funeral processions winding its way to the river. All 3 women had died in childbirth. Ida Scudder bid goodbye to her American dream. Those 3 knocks in the night changed the course of Ida's life. Ida returned to America and enrolled to study medicine at the Women's Medical College of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia. Ida's commitment to save women from death during childbirth transformed the sleepy town of Weldt. In 1918, Ida set up a medical school in a rented premises to educate women physicians. Today, CMC Weldt is a top-ranked national institute. The attached CMC hospital with 3,844 beds spread across 6 campuses at last count oversaw 17,420 childbirths between April 2022 and March 2023. Continuing the pioneering spirit of its founder, CMC has to its credit a string of firsts, including India's first open heart surgery, kidney transplant, bone marrow transplant, and ABO-incompatible kidney transplant. Discover the faith-building story of Dr. Ida Scudder and many other inspiring biographies at www.dcbasia.org.